Hello and welcome to the Futro Hidden Movie Gems podcast. I'm your host, Ty Spiker Christensen. Your mission, should you choose to accept it. I can't do Tom Cruise. I'm sorry. Can't
That was great.
I try to do it. My wife thinks I sound like I'm having an aneurysm. And we've got Jordan Christensen on the podcast.
I felt like I was at a NASCAR race and you're like,
loser. I think I was doing Ace Ventura.
Hello, I can't think of anything. Dun 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 dun. Dun
dun dun dun dun dun dun dun dun dun. All right, and we got Cameron Mickle on the podcast.
We live and die in the shadows for those we hold close and for those we never meet.
Yes. Did you write that, Cameron, or did the AI write that for you? Writer's strike. Could you show a little respect, Cameron? Jeez. Everybody, writers work super hard, even though they haven't made anything of noteworthy or mentionable in the last couple of years. They still deserve to be paid for the garbage they've been putting out on their streaming services. Just kidding, writers.
I know.
I'm a writer too. I have a podcast. Of course, I don't do any writing for this podcast. If a lot of people that leave comments know that already. So, guys, today we're reviewing Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. I believe this is the 7th Mission Impossible movie. It's rated PG-13. Don't know why I mentioned that, but came out in 2023, and it's Ethan Hunt and his IMF team must track down a dangerous weapon before it falls into the wrong hands.
And
funny because that sounds like the plot
like all of them
for the last 6 Mission Impossible movies.
I was also going to mention too, for Indian fans that want to listen to Sardar, I'll put a link in the description. You can just click on it. It'll take you straight to the, if you haven't seen Mission Impossible.
Don't make it easier for them. Sardar Udham. Oh, my IMDb just started playing the Sardar Udham trailer, so you just speak its name and it starts working. Okay, so guys, this movie stars Tom Cruise. Maybe you've heard of him. Maybe if he sticks with the acting, it'll really pay off for him. We got Haley Atwell, Ving Rhames, Simon Pegg, Rebecca Ferguson. She's awesome. Vanessa Kirby, Isai Morales. We got Palm Clementif, Henry Cersei, Shea Wiggum.
Was there any moment, Ty, when you were looking at Tom Cruise? Because there was, I think, 1 or 2 times they're really good at like making him look young, but all of a sudden I was like, oh yeah, he's old. Because like all of a sudden there was just like one shot that I like recognized he's old.
This sounds mean, but like every time he was falling out of the sky and when he's on the train, like... his face is like the wind's just blowing his skin back. Yes, but my boy looks good.
I know.
Okay? We don't need to lie. He's still. Oh, it has Carrie Elwes. I don't know what his name is. He's Prince Wesley. He was also in Saw. Carrie Elwes. 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 Carrie Elwes.
The first Saw?
Yeah. He's Prince Wesley from Princess Bride.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's in it.
Yeah, he's in it. I just wish I could remember his name. I don't know how to say his last name. Anyway. Folks, let's talk about this movie. What was it like watching this movie for the first time and rewatching it for the podcast? Jordan, you start.
Watched it with Cameron in theater and loved it, just like I love them all. So it's great. Well, actually, the second one has less than
I have a confession.
desired.
I've never seen this second Mission Impossible to date. I've seen all of them except 2. So, but I did see that Ben Stiller mockery of him when he was climbing.
I think that's
my favorite.
I don't think I've seen the second one either. I think I've seen everything but the second as well.
Yeah. Love these movies though, and it makes me want to watch it because I think it was directed by Woo, right, or whatever his name is.
Yeah, I think he's a Korean or something. So.
Yeah, he did James Woo. Is that his name? I can't remember if it's James Woo, but he did the Face Off.
Did he really? Oh.
Yeah. James Woo, I think is his name.
Yeah,
I can't remember his name. James Woo. It's like James is not my name. Sorry, but Sean Woo. I don't remember what his name is. I'm not thinking of Shun Yu. I'm thinking of Mulan.
Oh, John Woo. Yeah,
John Woo. Okay, I said James. I'm sorry. It's John Woo. Sorry, not James.
You're right.
Yeah,
that's too bad because he's really good at making action.
That's too bad. Well, I'm sure the movie's full of action. It's just a matter of you went from Mission Impossible 1 to 2, which is just different you know, it's a little bit more over the top, but it's like, if you like Face Off, like that's what John Woo is. He's all about that stylistic, over the top action and art. So sometimes it just goes to show that not more doesn't necessarily mean better, you know.
Yeah,
But
but
he corrected it by the third one, because the third one's incredible. I
it,
think it's
you know,
directed
he
by
does practical effects in all his movies. So in the second one, the practical effect was they used a real knife that came like this close to his eye, and they just held it there. I just imagine like, oh shoot, he's like, I'm
he
losing.
sneezed.
Ah!
Yes. Well, and I know Tom Cruise, man, what a psycho. I think he's actually suicidal. He's just praying that the next stunt takes him out, because
Well,
that's how he wants to go.
but he's a Scientologist. He believes he'll live forever. So
That's true. Maybe he doesn't think these stunts will harm him. Well, no, he definitely knows pain. He had his
yeah,
ankle smashed on the last one.
yeah.
Oh, watch that video.
I hate
Oh,
that video. Don't watch
I
it.
know. His ankle's like, it's not good. And then he limps off screen, but it's that he's dedicated to the craft, folks. We don't have actors like him, you know, like Tom Cruise, Keanu Reeves, and Jackie Chan. They're all like a separate category, that they truly love their craft and they're really good at what they do, and they deserve to be praised and also chastised, because their mothers would be very concerned if they knew what they were doing. So I don't know if any of their mothers are still alive to this day. Cameron, how about you? What was it like watching this movie for the first time, or rewatching it for the podcast?
Yeah, first time or watching it for the pod was my first time. Watched it with Jordan in theaters. It was a double feature. We saw Sound of Freedom and then
Barbie. Oh, sorry.
we saw Sound of Freedom and then followed it up by this to kind of lighten the mood after watching Sound of Freedom. And
That's right.
Man, Tom Cruise did not disappoint on lightening the mood. He just, yeah, I was really, really impressed. For me, after watching this, it's probably my second favorite Mission Impossible behind Ghost Protocol. So
wow, high praise. Oh, we should rank all of the
Mission
Impossible
Impossibles.
movies. Definitely. Because I can pretty much tell you're wrong as far as the second best, but it's good. I liked it.
Well,
In fact,
how
I do
about
need to
we
rewatch
rank it when
yes.
you actually finish them all?
Well,
Oh,
I think 2's going to be last place, so we don't need to.
oh my gosh.
I can quickly say, do you guys like? It's easy to determine. Do you like Ghost Protocol or 3 better? That's 4 and 3.
They're all kind of the same to me.
No, they're very different.
For me,
3 is
number 3 is like the third best, I would say.
okay. 3 had Paul. No, Paul. I always say Paul Thomas Anderson. It had Philip Seymour Hoffman, rest in peace. He was the villain, and he was like, "You don't think I'll do it?" He's gonna kill his girlfriend. Or you have a wife, girlfriend? I'm gonna find her. I'm gonna kill her right in front of you. He was so good. He's like played this. He's always been a dweeb, and then he's like some rich, evil man. Anyway, I like that one. It's got a special place in my heart. And then it has the most Tom Cruise running is the third one. That's also why it's the best. He literally jumps on a bridge, like jumps over a chasm, shot by an explosive drone. Why am I talking about Mission Impossible 3? You guys need to go see it if you haven't seen it. And that's interesting. You said this is the second best. What is your you said Ghost Protocol's number 1?
Yeah.
Got it. So you do like Ghost Protocol, and then 3 is third place. Does Fallout fall in the top few? Because I actually think Fallout's probably in the top 3. I can easily say that. I like the one that was.
I would say number 1 just for originality. I really enjoyed. Probably just number 4 for me.
1 is good too. See, it's hard because I'm like, oh, okay, like I watched 1 and I couldn't stop watching it. Like you're like, oh, this scene. Oh my gosh, I forgot all about this. Yeah,
the catching the splat scene is kind of iconic.
Yes.
Yeah. The suspended in the room. There's some people that like mocked that, you know, with the whole like being suspended in the air and can't touch
every
the floor.
spy movie mocks it.
All the spy movies wanted a scene like that, and it was just so cool at the time. So okay, well, excellent. I saw this in theaters too, and I think I didn't do the double feature, so I must have seen it separately, but I saw this with my wife. We went to go see it together on a date night, and it was a lot of fun. I just love trains, and I love Boom Boom, and it was so exciting to watch trains go boom boom, and Tom Cruise running. My goodness, did he run? My boy has recovered from his injury from the last movie, and he was running. There was beautifully lit candles to set the mood. He was just running, and it just was so hot to see him run like that. And all the candles were very hot too, so that was great, folks. Let's get into it. What are your 2 favorite things from the Mission Impossible movie? Cameron, start us off.
I think the first thing that I know I'm probably going to slightly steal Jordan's a little bit. I just think
The AI. Sorry, is that it?
I thought, well, I mean, first, my favorite thing obviously is the main stunt that is just insane with the motorcycle and then going off like that. I just think that's so unreal that he actually did that. And I was watching some videos that were talking about how there was about like a couple second difference between when he would drop and then when they would give the signal good canopy, which meant like his parachute like worked, and just it's just insane because you just see him like jump off and then he just like vanishes, and then all the other actors are like, please, and then it's just like 2 seconds later like good canopy, and you're like, goodness. And they said like it feels like an eternity when he's in the air. But I mean, just the fact like all of his stunts are insane, and I mean he just keeps saying like, how far can I push it? I'm like,
I know. And as he gets older, they also kind of get more impressive in a way, right?
I
mean,
know.
like the other one where he leapt across that building, like he ended up smashing his ankle, but like he literally was like, I want to see if I could jump this distance. And he ends up like hitting the side of the building, and like he timed it, or the distance that he made it. It's just like painful to watch him do it, because you're like, oh my gosh, like you don't have to put yourself through this, but I'm so grateful you do. So I have to look away, but I have to keep watching because it's just so impressive. Jackie Chan did the same thing.
I
He hurt
hope
himself.
if he does die in one of his stunts, like they finish the film, because they did that with like The Crow, and I just hope it's not like, because a lot of I feel like
already calling it
no,
Mission
I'm just
Impossible Dead Reckoning 2. It's like Tom Cruise's Dead Reckoning.
but what's his name when he shot that guy on set, the cowboy movie?
Oh, you mean Rust with Alec Baldwin?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, they're
now
finishing it. I'm so glad.
Oh, they are. I thought they were canceling it. So
yes, they are. Well, at least that was the last time I heard. I heard they were going to finish it, and I was like, seems a little insensitive.
I didn't really care about that movie, but I'm just saying in general, like I thought.
Excuse me, Alec Baldwin, one of the greatest actors of a generation, folks.
I mean, Hunt for Red October after that.
Speaking of which, Alec Baldwin was in the last Mission Impossible movie.
Oh, that's right.
He dies. Oh, spoiler alert. Sorry. It wasn't that important.
Well,
that's kind of comical.
Listening to the 7th one, hopefully they've seen the last 6.
Yeah, I know, right? They're like, oh, I haven't seen oh. Okay, folks.
Did you say both yours, Cameron?
No.
I interrupted.
And then
the big stunt.
And then I think my second favorite thing, kind of similar along those lines, I just thought like the practical effects and just the scenes, like I think the train falling scene.
Oh yeah, that was mine.
Was just like, it was so sick. Like
Zero gravity.
Like I was just like really impressed with how they did it, and it almost like felt like a video game. Where I was like,
Uncharted 2, did you play that? That literally is what happens. The train is falling off this cliff, and Drake's climbing up the train as it's anyway.
That's sad.
But it's from a video game, and it's fun to see it in a movie because it's a different media.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And so that was just really fun because you could just see like the decision making and him being like, I need you to trust me. And then the train or the piano or whatever like falls. So, and I think he's just like a master of like action suspense.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's no like thriller aspect of any of his movies, but like just that like, oh, like
we said any of his movies. I just watched Collateral again. Very much a thriller.
So yeah, just Collateral.
So that is a movie with Tom Cruise, because you said any of his movies. If you mean just the Mission Impossibles, yes. Sorry.
Yes, but I want to consider Collateral like his movie.
Oh, so freaking good. Watch it again. I just watched it last night. It was 8 times better than the first time I watched it. 100%. Which is why I also wanted to say, why aren't we reviewing that on the podcast? Because Collateral is awesome. That's my vote for next week or whatever, if I get a chance. Collateral is dope. Have you seen it?
It's a masterpiece.
Yeah. Oh, you've seen it? Okay. Well,
Michael
so you guys know what I'm talking about. Michael Mann,
the greatest director.
He's the man.
He is the man.
He's the man.
I have him in my top 10. I know he's not in your guys' top 10.
Yeah, because
that's true. No,
the directors.
You know what? I need to start a new IMDb list of just like movies that I absolutely love, but I know that aren't good. Because there's a lot of good movies that I love that aren't good, but Collateral's not one of them. It is a good movie, and I love it. Yeah. It might just enter the top 100, baby.
Did you watch that because YMS mentioned that new Nicolas Cage movie was basically Collateral, but not?
No, I mentioned it was Collateral.
Oh, you did. That's right.
I said it, but if YMS said it, he's taking jokes from me, folks. Okay, because so I said I haven't watched YMS for a while, but like
Yeah.
I was like, Jordan, he's driving around and he's like got the. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, this is Collateral meets like I don't know.
Yeah,
A Girl
Cameron,
with
you want to watch
Massive
Nicolas
Talent, or-
Cage meets Collateral?
Nick
Sympathy
Cage
No.
is
for the devil.
basically has a taxi driver that's driving him around, and he's the devil, right? And he's
Ty,
like
that's what
killing
we should do,
people.
a double feature on Collateral and
Collateral.
Sympathy for the Devil.
I will be on for half the episode.
Yes, yes, I love it. I do need to see that. I haven't seen it yet, so.
It's fun.
And Renfield. I'm going to see those double features, 2 Nick Cage back to back of, solid B movies.
Oh.
I'm excited.
Renfield.
Playing a vampire. Dude, you haven't even seen it. So stop.
I don't want to.
Nick Cage playing a vampire. What's not to watch, dude? Since Vampires Kiss, I've been dying for him to be a
It's
vampire.
not. It's
again.
not
Yeah,
him.
coming
It's
from
the
the
other.
person-
I
coming
heard
from the
he's a side
person-
character.
Coming from the
Okay.
person who says he's the best actor of all time.
He is, but that
But not
like,
everything
doesn't
he
mean
does, yeah.
Cameron
Big fan.
like Jake
Big fan.
Gyllenhaal.
I've
you love
watched
him,
almost every single movie.
but
that
I'm
he's
saying some of
in.
those movies you didn't like, right?
Yeah,
Which
but I
movies?
Yeah,
still
that's what I
watched
thought.
them.
You-
I
Which
still
movies of
watched
Jake
them
Gyllenhaal-
though, because I'm
Wait,
actually
wait,
a
wait,
loyal
wait.
fan.
Stop the podcast. Which movies of Jake Gyllenhaal's did you not like, Cameron? I'm interested.
Well,
Um,
I want to go through and break down and do an entire thing, and we just go through every single one. You rank them.
yeah, I can talk about.
Gyllenhaal
I can
movies?
tell. I can
Yes.
tell you after the pod.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sounds good. Because I know a few of them you haven't seen yet, but that's different. Obviously, you watched one. and
Once
you're
he
like, "Eh."
finishes them, we're gonna rank them all.
I didn't like Okja, and I think he was the best part of Okja.
Oh my
so
gosh, Oakja was amazing. Get out of here.
No, Okja
Yeah.
was stupid.
It's so good. Bong Joon Ho, I love you.
Okja was kind of dumb.
All right, back to
It
Mission
was so
Impossible.
dumb. Mission Impossible.
So my two favorite things going off of Cameron's, I also love that final scene. Amazing. And then the second one was I loved when he's defusing the bomb and there's like all of the the little things are moving around. It's like kind of look like
you solving
like
riddles. Is that the one?
Hellraiser's cube. What?
Was it
Yeah,
the one where Simon Pegg had to solve?
Yeah,
the
solving the riddles for the bomb. I love that because it was like as he was like giving up information, it was like learning more about him, and it was like diffusing the bomb, but it also was using something more powerful, which is knowing knowledge, which I just loved.
Knowledge is more powerful than the bomb. I didn't see that thesis put in Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer, so that was missing. Yeah, they didn't have a riddle with that giant bomb they dropped. That's what was missing. Folks. Okay, so do we get to Jordan's two favorite or not? Was
Yeah,
that just
it's your turn, Ty.
Okay, perfect. Because none of you mentioned the AI. Great timely villain. Can we just say that? Finally, like someone's like, hey, really cool, action packed. It seems like it's not necessarily ahead of its time because obviously AI seems like outdated already, but like it's still like in the zeitgeist and like everyone's like, oh, like AI is getting so smart. And now it's like,
I feel like now
resurrected.
it's just, it's resurrect is a good word for it. Because I feel like right now, right, there's like writing scripts and stuff. So
Yeah, exactly. Like, is AI gonna take my job? And it's
they're
just
taking our jobs.
this podcast could be done by AI. Let's just be honest. Probably be more entertaining, folks. Most of the comments we get remind us of that. Hurts my feelings. So I love the AI villain. I thought that was kind of cool, and even like represented by the actor. He's so great. He was in why can't I remember what he was in? I'm gonna think of it in just a minute. Isai Morales plays Gabriel, and he was in. Was it in Ozark? Ozark. Yep. Told you. I knew.
He's
you
also in the TV show I watched, Titans. He's Deathstroke. He's Slade Wilson.
Oh, right on. See, but yeah. Oh, he's been in Criminal. He's been in Criminal Minds.
Criminals.
Criminals. And as far as that goes, there's probably other things that I've seen him in, but cool to be like, oh, dude, I recognize him, and he's suave, he's cool, he's intimidating. I love him. I like to see him in these roles. He plays a good boss, Bond villain / Mission Impossible villain. It's great. And then my second favorite thing is I really like the emotional weight in this movie. And by golly, I might have to take it back when they do the second part because they bring her back. I just know that they're going to bring back Rebecca Ferguson. There's no way she's actually dead, but I love it. The emotional weight of this movie standing alone, it feels like there's actual stakes because Rebecca Ferguson has always played like this really cool bad A chick that's, been in pickles before. She was really good in now I'm starting to get him confused. Fallout was 6, I
Gonna be it.
believe. So
Another
the fifth one was a little forgettable, but Rebecca Ferguson was by far the best part of that one.
It's gonna be another Spider-Man situation where he just like fades off in the distance and then he comes back.
Yeah, and then Snap brings her back. She blips back into this movie as a different character, or someone pulls off their face and was
Oh
like,
yeah.
yeah, it wasn't me. It was some stupid person that was me that got stabbed. You know, because they have the face thing. They can peel off their face, and I love that.
No,
That's what makes this movie so fun. They always do
Mom
the-
hated that part because she's like, Tom Cruise needed a younger girl, and
Yeah, I think Mom read the wrong message out of it, because I actually didn't take the because he had a romantic involvement with Rebecca Ferguson. With Haley Atwell, it was more of like a paternal, right? Did you guys think that?
You're muted, Cameron.
Mom's kind of just a hater of shorter men, so I think she's like,
Yeah, she just
"He's a little
doesn't
too
want Tom Cruise to be
full of
happy.
himself for a 5'5" man." I'm like, can a man not be confident if he's that short? Like, what the heck?
Mom, haven't you heard of little man syndrome? They got to do what they got to do to, you know, be successful. You know, forget the fact that he's standing on an apple crate on most of his takes. Tom Cruise is doing his own stunts, lady. Just appreciate that. She's upset because a younger woman, dude. I thought of it as more of a paternal thing. I don't know what Mom's smoking. She's crazy.
But then she loves,
You
but then
know.
she loves Leo in Titanic, even though
I want
he's-
to see Ving Rhames and Simon Pegg get up together, you know, in a romance. They're beautiful people. I want to see them happy, because everyone else on the team, they don't have anybody. They're
And-
always
and
like
Nick
doing
Cage
the
is the-
mission.
Nick Cage
Yeah.
is the king of dating younger women, right, Jordan? Dating like a 17-year-old as an 80-year-old man. Sick for you.
Good
You're,
on
you're talking
him.
about his real wife, not in the movies.
Yes,
Usually-
I'm very
Jordan's like,
aware.
yeah, in the movies, it's much more
He's-
tastefully done.
yeah.
In real life, he's a monster. Sorry.
I mean, as are most of the Hollywood actors. So
Guys, we don't justify, their behavior. We don't condone their behavior on or off
I
screen.
don't condone his behavior on the screen or off the
well,
screen.
especially
Oh,
not
that-
Tom Cruise after watching all those documentaries about Scientology.
But he might be an innocent victim in all this. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. And I don't really care. But I also wonder if Scientologists get around to listening to our podcast, and what would they think? 'Cause
No,
we have the
if I
answers.
put that in our title, then they'd listen to it and then they would attack us.
What could they possibly do to us? And
No, they
some
hire
guy pulls back the curtain behind me and just shoots me in the head.
they hire PIs to like harass you.
Oh my gosh. I love harassment, it just keeps me going. So Scientology, come at me, bro.
Oh geez,
I
no.
don't get it. I feel
No.
like they kind of like Freemasons. They kind of just like went away. I mean, like they were a cool club and now they're just like
They
very
still
dust.
exist, time.
I know they exist, but it's just like a club of like 6 bros meeting in their mother's basement. That's right. I said it. Guys, who cares? Scientology has nothing to do with this movie, and neither does Tom Cruise. Isn't he out? Maybe he's not out. Is he
I
still
think
in time?
I hear he gets out every time before the movie releases, just so I can get more people in the seats.
He's like, I'm free, but please go see this movie. Otherwise, like my career's over and I have to go return to the Scientologist. Can we just admit, like, Tom Cruise single-handedly is trying to save cinema? Can we just all applaud him for that? Everybody, thank you. Tom Cruise, like,
Golf clap.
single-handedly released Top Gun, which was like the highest, like one of the highest grossing movies of
Well,
all time.
This one
And-
didn't do as good as Oppenheimer and Barbie, but
Right, which was interesting, but I also felt like there were so many other things all of a sudden releasing, like Oppenheimer, Barbie, Sound of Freedom.
Sound of
There was just like a
Freedom.
lot of things kind of pulling attention away from it, right? Because again, there's not too much controversy around a Mission Impossible movie. It's like it's an exciting spy thriller. Talks about AI. Oh, again, see, like I was saying, like Sound of Freedom is more like, oh, these are real problems going on, and you need to watch this movie. And if you don't send money for other people to go see it, you basically don't care if kids get abused. You're like, easy, buddy, easy. But this movie, you know, it's like it doesn't have an agenda. It was sought to entertain, and it entertained me thoroughly. And this is going to be one that I will be buying and rewatching. So can't say
you
the
mean
same
I'll be
for-
buying and then you'll be rewatching.
Well, of course. So everybody, I didn't even get to the director, Christopher McQuarrie, who's also directed. Man, what a dapper gentleman. He's got a good look about him. He's from something New Jersey, known for Mission Impossible, Top Gun, Maverick. Well, he did the screenplay. What else did he? Okay, so he's a writer. What did he direct? Directing previous 5 films. Mission Impossible, Fallout. So that was a good one. He also did Rogue Nation. So he did the last 3 Mission Impossible movies. He also did Jack Reacher, and then he did The Way of the Gun.
Jack Reacher was fun.
Jack Reacher was good. The TV show was really good too. So, did you watch the TV show? It's good.
I
The Way of
tried.
Gun. It's got Benicio
Cameron
del
likes it
Toro.
though.
Benicio del Toro.
Jordan's uncultured swine.
I want to watch this. The
it was a
Way of
little
the
too
Gun. Is
cheesy.
this a movie you've seen? Have you seen The Way of the Gun? Back in 2000.
No.
He took a break for a while. I think he was just like producing after a while, but like that was back in 2000, and then he took a little break from directing to return with Tom Cruise. And ever since then, he and Tom Cruise are just like working together. He did Jack Reacher in 2012, 2015, 2018, and 2023. He was working with Tom Cruise with Jack Reacher in the 3 Mission Impossible movies.
I think anybody can just read IMDb. Ty, you got any final thoughts on the movie?
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't really know what the point of this podcast is, like having an existential crisis, but I felt like there was a lot of energy on this episode and it kept me going. Now we're about to talk about a very deep and heavy movie.
Yeah.
Really heavy. So
Ty's trying to avoid it.
trying to keep the energy going because we're about to talk about something.
This was
really
like when we
interesting.
did that double feature of Sound of Freedom. This movie kind of reminds me of Sound of
Yeah.
Freedom.
Sardar Udham or Mission Impossible?
Well, no. Sardar, obviously. It's just like,
Mission Impossible was sad though for Rebecca Ferguson. I didn't want to see her
nah,
die.
I did not care. Cameron didn't care either. We didn't care.
I
I'm
mean,
sorry.
here's the thing. I want to get invested, and it felt like the stakes were high, but it's not like I was shedding tears over her death. But I am sad to see her go because I'm like, they're gonna have to bring her back, otherwise, because they have to do the Batman treatment, and I don't mean some freaking, I don't know what's a bad example. No, like the Christopher Nolan Batman treatment. That's what they need. They don't need a freaking James Bond treatment for Tom Cruise. Okay, I don't need to see him literally get blown up on screen and emasculated. What they need is like Tom Cruise and Rebecca Ferguson going off on a speedboat
How
somewhere
is that the
to
Batman
a private
treatment?
island. What's that?
How is that the Batman treatment?
No, I'm saying he needs the Christopher Nolan Batman treatment where they like respectfully have him at a cafe and Michael Caine gets to see him and gets to shed a tear and he's like, he's okay with a girl. That's the kind of treatment they need for Ethan Hunt. I'm just saying he's devoted, like now it's going to be 8 movies. The only other franchise I could think of that comes to mind is Harry Potter. So that's pretty dang impressive that it's the same lead actor that's carried 8 movies and pretty darn, like you could point to any of them and be entertained by it, even if you want to say like the weakest of them are still better movies than most of the crap these days.
It's true.
Right? So like anyway, any Mission Impossible movie would stack up against like any other movie that you would pick just on like a weekend night with friends. You'd be like, we could watch one of the Mission Impossible movies or
like any one of the Mission
Reservoir
Impossible
Dogs.
any Nick Cage movie that he's ever made ever.
It's a masterpiece. I agree.
So anyway, so yeah, I just appreciate this guy and I'm grateful for Tom Cruise because he's got a great laugh and it's contagious and it's funny and he's charming as all get out and charismatic. So this is the 7th movie and it doesn't feel stale.
Dang.
It's the 7th movie and it doesn't feel stale. And it's part 1, part 2. Do you guys have anything to say about that? It's 2-parter. They didn't hide it like they did across the Spider-Verse.
I don't love this part 1, part 2 stuff. I just like make it one movie.
I don't mind because I'm patient and not a baby.
Yeah, I'm not a psychopath that needs instant gratification, you freak. No, I'm kidding. But not really. I don't mind it. And like I said, marketing and all that stuff, because people are like with Dune, they had the same issue.
I just think it's funny because see, Jordan's fine with it if it's Denny Villeneuve. He's like, oh yeah, I just like break it
No,
out.
I didn't like that it broke
He
up
didn't.
Dune.
He did. Yeah,
I
Jordan's been
complained about
consistent about that at least as far. But I'm with you, Cameron. I hear this complaint, but I'm like, look, I don't care how long it is. If it's like part 1, part 2, but it's like one movie, it's Titanic. It's 2 VHSs, folks. And no one complained about that. But because it was like 3 hours in the movie theater,
like,
everyone was fine with it. But it's like, yeah. Go
My
ahead.
least favorite Quentin Tarantino movie is Kill Bill part 1 and 2 because it's just like make it one movie.
It is one movie. It's called the whole bloody affair.
We have the same
Right.
argument every time.
every
I
time.
know. All right, we're talking in
They
circles.
have that cut anyway. In the
Let's
end,
recommend it. Yes.
Definitely do recommend.
yes, recommend this movie. You gotta go see it, guys. This is freaking Mission Impossible.
I want
Although,
to talk about what I've seen lately, real quick.
here's the order you should see him in, though. Go see 4, 3, and then 1, 7, 5, 6. No, I'm kidding. I totally
And
made that up.
Then 2.
Yeah, and then 2, if there's time, because I haven't even gotten around to seeing it. Anyway, good movie, folks. Guys, today we're talking about a very funny comedy. It's called Sardar Udham.
Oh man, they're gonna come at us with the pitchforks.
Folks, today we're talking about Sardar Udham, and I'm probably not pronouncing it right.
Yep, it's
But I
okay.
don't remember if they even said his name in the movie, or I didn't hear it because I don't understand Indonesian. I don't know what they're speaking. I didn't do enough
I think
research,
it's
but
Hindi-
guys,
I
I went
think
into
it's
this movie
Hindi.
blind. This is a recommendation from so we should probably preface this. We have a listener, a very loyal listener that comes onto our show to recommend this movie every single week. When we're reviewing other things. I'm sure it hurts his feelings.
His YouTube username is Bold Truths.
Bold Truths. Hey, we hear you, Bold Truths. We're here with you, man. We're so glad to have you on the Futro Hidden Movie Gems podcast. A little shout out to Bold Truths.
Your persistency is not overseen. It was not all in vain.
That's right. Your persistency and annoyance will be rewarded because we ended up seeing your movie.
I know. I
it was
worry
on Amazon
about
Prime.
rewarding that. It actually is also Diogir Redev. Oh, I butchered that. But there's two people actually that are.
I think you killed it.
Wait, are you sure they're two different people? What if they're just bots? It's all from the freaking Bold Truths. He's just creating a new YouTube account every day. He's like, look, all these people are recommending you see this movie. I guess it's high time you see it. It's like it's one person.
Yes.
I love it. Hey, folks, because we reviewed RRR, we can't forget how great that movie was. This movie was recommended to us, and I quote. Well, actually, I don't remember what the quote was. He goes, "There are many Indians waiting for this review," he said. Is that basically what he said?
That's what he said.
My favorite comment.
He said, "Hey guys, many Indians are waiting for your Sardar Udham movie review. Best of luck for the movie."
Here it is, and best of luck. I could have used it. This movie was heavy, muy heavy. Guys, we're talking about Sardar Udham. This movie it was made in 2021, and it's on Prime now.
Oh, it's been a while. I didn't know that.
Yeah, but kind of remain in the zeitgeist or whatever, just on Prime. But it's like there, but it's like it never recommended until you find out that like, oh, you liked RRR, maybe you'd like this movie. Totally very different,
totally
but
opposite films. Yeah, I was actually expecting RRR, and as I was watching, I was like, oh, this is not the same.
Jordan's like, when is he gonna drive the motorcycle off the cliff, off the bridge?
I know.
Where's a motorcycle?
30 minutes in, and I'm like trying to stay awake. I'm like, oh, I was not ready for this film, especially because right before the film, I watched the music video, the nacho like 100 times. So I was like so pumped.
Jordan's like, I was really hoping for a musical number in this movie. Yeah, there's no dance off, unfortunately. And that's what I was going to ask, who did it better, Sardar Udham or RRR?
Oh,
that's showing the injustice of the blight of the stupid English folks coming in and colonizing and stuff. So anyway, no, I'm kidding, of course. Different strokes, right? Again, one did a good job at showing it, just a very different story, and this one very serious. So this is a biopic crime drama.
Okay, I just wanted to mention, similarly to like Sound of Freedom and Taken, I just personally, and I didn't mention this in Sound of Freedom, but I would prefer not a hyper real, but like, what is it called when they like take something that's real and then they kind of make a fantasy story of it? Like, I'd prefer that over watching something super real, because I was just like, this just felt so heavy.
Like
not saying I did.
I'm confused.
No, it's just like a completely fantasy story, but about it's basically like Quentin Tarantino's Django Unchained.
Well, if it makes you feel better, it says based on true events, so there's plenty of liberties that they took. They put this big disclaimer at the beginning. I read it, and it's like, well, one at the very bottom, it says no animals were harmed, but they didn't mention all the specific animals like RR did, because I felt much better after watching RR, where it was like no tigers, snakes, bears, lions, snake, or elk and deer were harmed. I'm like, we're probably going to see those animals in here, even though it didn't even register until the scene where all the animals, run loose in the compound or the courtyard. But anyway, this movie, yeah, is a biopic, and it's based on true events. And again, it's like, this isn't meant to demean or demoralize or put down any nation or people, but that, it's like a telling of history. And
they say that, and then they just destroy the British.
And then they're like, but screw the Brits, man. Hey, we hate the Brits too. We're Americans. Screw them. We left them a long time ago. We went to war and we kicked their sorry butts.
That's true. We did go to war.
Yeah, dude. We want nothing to do with them.
1-0, baby. 1-0.
The Last of the Mohicans tie is a great, like, us breaking apart from in the wars between us
Or
and
the Patriot.
British.
is
Oh,
I
the,
think-
the,
or
the
the Patri-
Patriot. Mel
Did you just think
Gibson's.
Daniel
know,
Day-Lewis and
I actually
the
thought of
Last of the Mohicans
I thought
confused with
of
the
what's
Patriot?
the other Mel Gibson famous one, Braveheart. When I was watching
Braveheart.
this, I was waiting for the guy to yell "Freedom" in the court when he's. That was basically his speech as he was screaming.
And it was also very
Yeah,
similar
he
to
called into question
another
the
Mel
law,
Gibson
yeah.
film, Hacksaw Ridge, when
Yeah.
he was saving those people. I was like, and he was like also like talking to God. I was like, this is literally like Indian Hacksaw Ridge. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, yeah. So we can real quick. I just wanted to give a quick synopsis of people that haven't seen this. It's a biopic detailing the 2 decades of the Punjabi, if I'm saying that right.
Sorry.
Sikh.
If I were to gamble, I would say no.
Punjabi.
Oh, okay, stop. Just stop.
Sikh
We're gonna get in so much
revolutionary.
trouble.
Udham Singh. He spent planning the assassination of the man responsible for the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. So this is like a tale of revenge, and it was very interesting that you watch him get revenge, and it almost doesn't seem fair.
I just think it was a tiny bit too long. I think they could have cut it to an hour and a half.
I agree, but part of me is like, I'd never know if it's cultural differences that get in the way of that, because like
Oh.
RR is like a long movie, but like
No,
the movie
but
keeps going.
But
and you feel
Taxi,
like it's
I felt like was this reminds me so much of isn't it called Taxi, the Korean film where he goes down?
No, yeah, okay, so it's Taxi Driver. I think it's Taxi
It's
Cab.
a taxi driver.
A
Taxi driver. Yeah, that one is. It reminds me of that, but
Yeah.
I just like that one. I felt like the whole movie is so enthralling, and this one is just like there's some. I mean, not only is there like a lot of heavy, rough stuff, but like I don't know. It's just a different story.
Hey, Jordan,
I don't
they
know.
were at least kind enough to shrink down 2 decades into 2 hours and 44 minutes. So that was at least kind of them to shrink it down that
Yeah,
much.
I just
asking them to shave off more time.
I feel like
Come on,
just the
Jordan.
first half an hour. I mean, you could have cut and just had it right at the assassination, like really grip the people, and then
Jordan's like, I would start with assassination. Bang goes the gun. It's really exciting.
Jordan's starting to sound like Grant. All that exposition, I started skipping over it.
No,
I know.
I will
understand.
give it to you though. I was surprised at how long like his journey was, because they like literally show him like, like what do you say? A guy gets up from a chair and he goes over to the fridge. It's like you get him standing up, then you cut to him opening the fridge. Like you understand that he traveled from one place to another. But
Mm.
part of it was like this grueling journey, and you kind of understand like his obsession, like his determination and
true.
grit to do it. So I understand all the reasons what you're saying. And part of me thinks like, okay, this movie was made like American filmmakers, we're kind of wired to be like, oh, they would probably start with the assassination or even like the massacre, or
Well,
like,
you watch
hint at the
Goodfellas,
massacre.
and Martin Scorsese says, "Grip the people." The opening scene, stabbing a guy. Like
He means grip him by the freaking dude. I know, right? Yeah, no, it is funny. Like you said, there are certain movies where I'm like, I wonder if at least like we are accustomed, like when I watch foreign films, what was not flight plan, declaration of emergency.
declaration.
I was
Emergency
surprised by it
declaration.
because I was like, oh, movies like this don't get made in America.
Yeah.
Because like after 9/11, it's like we don't deal with plane hijackings or anything like that. We just don't do it. And I remember thinking like, oh yeah, like other places will make films like this, and it like, it's just
They made
it's
nonstop
different.
after 9/11. So
True, but I mean that falls like right under like it's like the most forgettable movies. We're not here to talk about nonstop.
or emergency declaration. We're back to Sardar.
Yeah, we're back to Sardar. Anyway, so yeah, I agree. Like part of me is like, yeah, we probably could have cut down on time, but maybe I understood why they made it so long. At the
Like a
beginning.
scene, I
Yeah.
understood like him getting drunk and like giving that speech to the guy. Like,
Mm.
I don't like. I loved it, but I was also like, could you cut the scene? It's just made it a little bit shorter. Like, I don't know. I'm
It's like-
terrible. Like it made a lot of sense though, because like I did love the idea that like, oh, we're not actually free to speak. So it's so weird. It's like, I don't know. It was a good movie. I'll just leave it at that.
It was too long, but it was a good movie. Yeah.
It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good.
Don't change anything. Yeah. No, let's get into what it was like watching this movie for the first time and rewatching it for the podcast. I've only seen it once. This was like a very harrowing movie. Like to me, this like feels heavy, like Sound of Freedom. I almost said Les Mis. definitely didn't mean Les Mis. I
that
meant
one's heavy too.
Schindler's List. Yeah, it is.
Let's just
heavy, but-
name up all the heavy movies. Yeah, Schindler's List.
But like it made me think of Schindler's List just because like it's
Mm.
like any another one. Was it the Ten Commandments or Ben-Hur? It's no, it wasn't Ten Commandments.
There
but
was
I think it was the
people were basically treated like slaves in this movie. Like he
Yeah,
even
yeah, yeah.
says. So.
Oh yeah. Well, and part of it too is like I find it interesting, like the politics or the politics side of it, the politicians.
Yeah.
They're all talking about like, well, we need to civilize these people, otherwise they're going to be killing themselves. And I'm like, well, why are you even there? It's like you're just there because you want resources that the land has to offer. You can enslave these people. It's whatever, right? Like, but again, politically speaking, you understand their reasons for saying what they're doing, and it's always cloaked under like they have ulterior motives, right? That's the conspiracy theory. And like I've gotten to understand that like the war machine, it just keeps on turning, dude.
Well,
Like
but I
have that
do
problem here.
Yeah, I do love. I'm just jumping into mine really quick, just
Yeah.
mentioning that I do love watching historical movies because I think it's very
Yeah.
important to learn from history. And this is a great movie you can learn from history because I feel like too many people, that get into power just make terrible. I mean, just ruin nations and.
Yeah, this movie made me realize how ignorant I am to like world history.
Yeah.
Because there's a great line in this too where I like where he goes. He's like, this moment will go completely unnoticed by you. And he goes, it's just a footnote in your history books. And I was just like, yeah, it probably was. Like growing up, like I remember history class. I don't know. Do I even remember talking about this massacre? They probably mentioned it. Probably had a quiz answer with it. And it's just
Well,
so
I
crazy.
mean, we
that
learn
it's like a
more about our
historical-
history, but maybe it's a footnote in their history.
No,
'Cause,
but I
like-
mean, like, yeah, but like the world, right? I mean, this was like one of the bloodiest massacres of all time.
Did more people die than in Russia? Because I know it said like a lot of people, like 4 million starved, but wasn't there more people that starved out in Russia?
Whoa,
Didn't
Jordan,
Stalin-
let's not try to
I'm-
outpace people's suffering, all right?
I'm
Suffering is
not
suffering, all right?
trying.
He's like, well, more people died in the Holocaust.
No, but you just said you're like, isn't this the biggest one of all time? Like,
I didn't say the biggest. I said it's one of the biggest because
Okay.
I'm ignorant to history. But anyway, I'm just taking from the movie. I like that aspect.
was just
of it
going off-
because-
complaining. At least you're not the Jews, is what Jordan just said.
oh my gosh. Well,
Yeah,
see,
it's
yeah,
like- Yeah. Oh my gosh, what a Sully
Oh,
sob story. All the people
goodness.
getting gunned down.
no, that okay. I did want to mention like I bawled my eyes out at the end. I admit it. Like,
Yeah.
I was just
Yeah.
like, and just one after another after another. I was like, all these scenes, like just kids, like that one girl he's carrying, and she's like right next to her dead mom. This movie is so heavy. Oh,
And part of me, yeah, like again, movies like this don't get made all that often. Like I know that there's some movies, like I'm trying to think of like the most vivid imagery, like maybe the Deer Hunter. I'm thinking spoiler. I'm just like telling everyone what happened, pantomiming the end of Deer Hunter. Like Schindler's List. Like there's like really heart-wrenching, gut-wrenching moments in movies.
Schindler's List is
and
probably
it's up there, right? And
except,
like yeah,
except Cameron didn't cry.
like Platoon, Willem Dafoe throwing his arms in the air, even though I've mocked it myself with my own home videos. But keep in mind,
Well,
it was
it's
serious at the
hard to
time.
connect
Yeah.
with those
Yeah.
soldiers because they are horrible. I mean, I get it. They go through like
Wait,
a lot.
Platoon, or you mean you're talking about
Isn't the one where
Platoon,
they
right?
get high and it's like Oliver Stone's movie?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Platoon?
That you connected with those characters? I thought they were all kind of sleazy. and
I haven't
horrible.
seen Platoon. I just know the
Oh.
scene. See, I sound bad saying this, but I'm just saying, like, there are movie images that come to mind where it's like, yeah, he's being shot and his hands up in the air or whatever. The massacre that happens at the end here, like you said, it almost, to me, I was almost like,
No,
oh,
it
I
reminded me,
wanna
Ty.
watch
I know
all
what you're
this,
talking
yeah.
about. This reminded me of the scene from King of Kings when they're all those people
Yes.
get trapped.
King
they're
of
just
Kings. Thank
gunning
you. I
them
said Ten
all.
Commandments. Yes.
Yeah, and they've got that big giant arrow.
Yes, the
and it,
Romans
like-
are just mowing them down. They are running them over, stabbing them, cutting them down. It's pretty
Yep.
horrific. And
Romans,
I remember
yeah.
watching that movie and being like, I can't believe injustices like this happened in human
Yes.
history. It's like,
And-
this is what human beings are capable of, guys. It is a messy world we live in. And
Well, I was
folks
just
be
shocked that
evil.
this didn't start a war. Like I was like, there's not a war after
well,
this.
dude, we have
Like,
Gandhi to thank for that, man. I don't know if he's exactly the same amount of time, but like he was like, kill him with peace, don't fight back. And that's
they
why
did
India's,
mention
like, the
Gandhi. They're
first
like, arrest
country-
him. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like one of the only revolutionaries that literally formed his own country based on peace. And it's not easy to do because so many people had to die doing it. I mean, they didn't have to, but they did die because anyway, it's just like a messy world we live in. And so I was just enlightened to how ignorant I am in history watching movies like this, because I'm like, yeah, there's other parts of the world that like I'm like, oh, Russians are in this, like, oh my gosh, we're talking about like this and that. I'm like, I just no idea, it's like we're so far removed and sheltered from it in our lives here. It was just very enlightening to watch a movie like this, being like, dude, I'm just so grateful and immensely blessed that I live in the time that I do, and my heart pours out to the family and of those and of their ancestors that had to go through such horrific stuff.
Yeah,
It's a
and well, and
messy
there's
place.
so many moments in this movie that were just like hard to watch, like the torture scene where they're gonna like, put crap up under his fingernails, and then
Yeah,
the other scene where they like
the Spanish
Jan
sphincter.
open his mouth, and then they start shoving down that tube so they can feed him, because they're like, we're not dealing with another person to starve himself. And it's just like, I felt like I was watching the end of Requiem for a Dream, where I was just getting pummeled with just like
Right.
the most
This is
horrific.
in no way, shape, or form even close to Requiem for Dreams. And never compare those two ever
Oh,
again.
well, the ending, it's horrific. Is that not a good comparison to just like
I would watch this 800 times over, back to back to
Thank
back, before rewatching Requiem for Dreams.
Thank you. Yes. Yes. Even though it's like hard to watch, like Requiem for a Dream is just punishment. And this movie, like I said, had punishing scenes. But yeah, I agree with Cameron.
scenes? Try the whole last last
Yeah.
hour.
Yeah. But I mean, it's still a 2 hour and 44-minute movie. So there's still an hour and 40 minutes left where it's a breeze.
Yeah, but an hour of just person after person. And Cameron, you're right. I did think I was actually waiting for him to say, just like to pray to his God and be like, just help me get one more. Because there's like moments, where he's carrying and he can't even pick up the guy. He's just like, oh my gosh. That was
As
great.
far as the protagonist is concerned, I think he was like we want to get right into like two of our favorite things real quick. I just thought his performance was awesome. Like as far as like Sardar Udham playing this guy Udham Singh, he was good. Like kind of stoic, pulled off the beard when he needed to. He pulled off the clean shaven look too. I just think he did a really good job, because sometimes the performance can take me out of it. But I rather liked his performance, so thought that was really good. But I want to hear your guys' two favorite things from this movie. We've nitpicked a few things, but Cameron, do you have two favorite things from this movie?
Yeah, I would say just like first favorite thing was I just thought the scene of him saving the people was like super cool, and kind of I love seeing like one of my favorite parts was like showing also like his humanity of how like he's just so tired, where there's times where he like lift up a person, then he's just like sits there for a sec with like the person, he's like, all right, and then he like goes push up. Because I think similar to Hacksaw Ridge, just kind of like the message of like how much good one person can do is really cool. Of like,
In the
yeah,
face of so much horrific,
yeah, like he's maybe he didn't change like the course of history or anything, but like he changed like the lives of many people that day. And so it's
for
like,
sure.
is there anything more you can like ask from a person? So I thought that was really cool. I also thought it was a really interesting choice finishing with like the accounts of the soldiers, and just essentially like the lack of remorse. I really think like drove the message home really well, where it was just like after seeing all of that like horrifying stuff, because I loved it too, because at first I was like, oh, they're showing a little bit of humanity when he's like, you can tell the general's kind of questioning like, I was in the right, like
No,
I'm not a terrible person.
right.
But then after doing that, you also see like him in front of his own generals being like, nope, I stand by it. What I did was necessary. And you're like that's a bold statement, brother.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
speaking of brother, I love when they call each other that. Like, I love as he's looking for the bodies and he says brother. Like,
Or uncle. Yeah, that's cool.
yeah, it
yeah,
just
they're
makes
all
me,
family.
yes, they're all family. I love that. That
Yeah.
was,
Lived in Hawaii for a year, and everyone calls each other auntie and uncle. I love that. There's a sense of camaraderie. They just all consider each other, and like even in our church, we refer to each other as brother and sister. It's like a sense of belonging and kinship that I think is lost in a lot of people in a lot of places in the world. They don't have that same kinship. Jordan, how about you? Two of your favorite things?
well, just mentioned it, calling each other brother. And then also, I mean, going along with what Cameron said, just that whole ending with him saving as many people as he could.
Yeah.
Powerful stuff. I thought that was actually, it was much better done in this movie than it was in Pearl Harbor. Because that one, I mean,
That's the one directed by Michael Bay.
Yes, and it's just I think it's too Michael Bay-ish, and he's got all this cool action.
Do you
and
mean
stuff.
following the missile out of the sky into the battleship?
Yeah, I
US
just
soldiers.
because it's just like he's making things look cool, and I'm like, this is
Yeah.
kind of a horrific thing. Like, I don't know. I just because there's a similar scene where the girl's like riding on people's heads, who's gonna make it and who's not gonna make it with her lipstick, and I just there's just something sort of horrific about the brutalities of I can't even call this a war. It's a massacre. That's what it is.
Right.
So it's hard to say I like that because it's like how it was portrayed because it's so horrific, but at the same time it's like it's cool that they get their recognition. The people that
in a way you kind
lost
of
their lives.
immortalize them. I know that Tarantino talked about that in Inglourious, where he's like, we can keep making Hitler the villain, but it's also the stories that we tell after the fact that become history, right? So he's
Yeah.
like, never forget the Nazis and what they did, and even though it's not historically accurate, that became more apparent when Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'm like, dude, if he does it for his final movie, just rewrites history once more, I'm totally fine with it. He just rights the wrongs of
with the
past.
Manson family. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's my point. It's like he takes the despicable and deplorable people and just takes them out. And I'm like,
turns them into the Three Stooges.
that's how he would have wanted it. And it almost like it's like that's what movies can serve that purpose for. And I was like, that's really interesting. So like, RRR kind of felt to me like a fantasy version of this because it does demonstrate the brutality at the beginning. You had a woman clubbed to death. What's the price of your bullet, soldier? I know I'm going into RRR, but like there was still that brutality that was present, and then like you get the sweet revenge in the courtyard. Animals tearing apart the English soldiers and stuff like that. And it's crazy because when you see like the brutality here, you're like, dude, I just can't even imagine like these wounds healing over time. Like you're like, this is like such a conflict that you're like, yeah, how does anyone move on from this? So I thought it was remarkable, one, that there was an assassination attempt and it was made and it was successful. He got there, he shot him in front of all those people. And I thought it was interesting that they did that before the massacre, because at the beginning I didn't know what to think. Like I guess I was on Sardar Udham's side because you see his long journey and everything, and you're like, he's come all this way for this mission, and he did it. He shot him. And I remember even thinking, like, in the setting, I was like, oh, that seems kind of cold. But again, then you watch the rest of the movie, because again, I went into this blind. I knew nothing about the history about all this stuff. And
well, I thought
it
was a story about just a hitman's life, but then it turns out
see, and I think that's kind of cool that the movie transforms that way, because I watched it too, and I was like, well, he got revenge and now he's imprisoned. Like I was like, but they're gonna go back, and then like you watch it and you're like, it hardly seems just, and that's part of it.
Oh,
right?
Exactly. Like I said, as I was watching the ending, I'm like, there should have been a war. There should have been a retaliation. Everybody should have pitched in, and they should have got rid of that's not what happened, but that's what I was thinking. I'm like, this is basically what happened to us from Pearl Harbor, but this seemed more worse. But I was just like, I want to see them fight back, like send them packing, send them home. Like that's what he was yelling in the courtroom. He was like, I want you out of my country.
Well, that's why I think it's kind of cool why he like essentially doesn't accept the plea bargain or whatever. Why he's like, because I felt like it's kind of it's very similar. It's interesting because in like a lot of the Batmans, one of the things that Dick Grayson struggles with, the first Robin, is he really wants revenge for like the murder of his parents, and Batman essentially tells him like it doesn't bring him back, and like if anything it leaves you more empty, like killing that person, and it's like it makes you less of yourself. And so I think it's cool that he's just essentially like, I think he kind of feels and recognizes like, oh, I don't feel that much better, like but like I did as much as I feel I could do, and that's why I just want to go back to my friend. Like that's the most important thing. It's like he's like, I know I didn't solve the problem. He's like, but I got my best version of retaliation, and now I'm like ready to go back with my friend.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, I love that. Thanks, Cameron, for sharing those thoughts. Folks, like, any other nitpicks? Like I said, we said the movie runs long, but like again, I think this is like one of those that you would put on, like, if you're at all interested in early British colonizers.
I think it's something they should almost show in school, in history class at least. I mean, it's a bit heavy, but
Yeah, I mean it's pretty brutal, and part of me thinks like, a textbook, does it do it justice? Probably not. And part of me is like, is watching this movie like
well, I would
sufficient
pay
enough?
attention in class if I was watching this. I mean, if I was reading about it, like
I need a
I
parent
fall
So it's
permission
asleep.
like I actually
slip,
might have
man.
passed my classes senior year if they were showing
If it was
this.
just movies, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Dude,
true.
let's be honest, movies can do a lot of cool things, and I feel like this year, and again, I know this was made in 2021, but like watching it this year, it feels like there does feel like, even with like Hollywood like in shambles right now, and I mean like classical Hollywood, where like the model in which they have movies being released to theaters, and the movie stardom, like you watch Disney, they're crashing and burning. You have all these other streaming services pumping out garbage. It's like there's really cool independent channels that are coming out, like Sound of Freedom, this movie, for example. um there's a lot of movies that feel like they still are pushing the envelope of the messages that can be shared, and our culture is like constantly evolving and changing, and we can watch movies like this years after the fact and then be able to get a hard look at ourselves, either in the mirror, if we're somehow involved in it, involved in this or responsible, or any culpability, or the Brits, take a long hard look at yourselves is what I'm saying. But we hate
Let's
you,
send him a
British.
mirror.
Yeah, get yourselves a bottle of water and
Oh
stare yourself down in
no.
the mirror
Oh
and
no.
be, repent. Calling to repentance. No, but like I said, like it's remarkable to watch movies like these because they feel very powerful, and like they're still being made. Like these stories, there's so many fascinating stories that exist in the world. I'm grateful for movies like Mission Impossible, fairy tale fantasy, but it's like, yo, there's remarkable stories of heroism and tragedy and triumph in the face of great adversity all throughout our history. And I think that's really cool that we have stories like this, and people that find stories like this and find an engaging way to tell that story. So it's
Yeah.
good stuff. It's a good
And
time to be
I
alive, folks.
apologize on Ty's behalf for all the things he
Brits.
pronounced wrong.
Oh yeah. Except the British, I pronounced that perfect. Like, oh, I didn't hear what was the problem. What was the problem there?
All right.
I can't do British.
Do we recommend it? This one, if we already said that. If you need,
Yeah,
if you're a history buff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very niche community, but it is worth a
yeah.
watch.
If you're listening to this and you're Indian, I understand it that you wanted us to watch this, so you've already seen it. So anyone else that's not Indian that hasn't seen this, you should watch it. But folks, this has been Sardar Udham. It was great watching this. It's great, a great hang. So guys, we end every movie podcast by sharing movies that we look forward to seeing, or sorry, that we've seen lately and looking forward to seeing. Cameron, why don't you start us off? What's your list?
So I just moved into my new place, and so we were like, I don't even know how to say, like coronizing or starting off the living here, watching some of our favorite movies. So I watched Zodiac for like the 6th or 7th time because one of my roommates, Colton, who's been on the podcast, hadn't seen it yet. Man, it's just as good every single
What?
time.
He hadn't seen it?
Yeah, so he loved it. And then it's 10 out of 10. Will forever be a 10 out of 10. And then I watched In Bruges with him because it's his favorite movie ever. Super fun.
Wait, and I'm just curious, did Zodiac at all bump down? It's still number one.
It's still number one. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the scene that will never, I mean, just the scene in the basement, I've never seen like a more perfect, like for me, just it's like the definition of perfect like cinema. I just think that scene, and just like every single time it gets me, and just like the feeling I get is so amazing. I forgot, because I used to think after watching it for some reason, like the past 2 times, I thought it was kind of a tame movie. I'm like, oh, there's like only the one stabbing scene, the rest is like not too violent. And after rewatching it again, I'm like, this movie's pretty violent. I was like, it's not very tame. I lied. Whoever I told that it was tame, my apologies and condolences.
Anything involving a serial killer, you just have to think like violence.
It's
is
just
like,
because I only
yeah.
vividly remember the stabbing one, and I was like, whoa. But like the rest, I was like, I kind of forgot there's a lot of like the opening scene. I was like, oh wow, I forgot they show just that cute little poor couple just getting, well, they're not really a couple because she's cheating and she's a whore. But regardless,
She deserved to die.
No, but that's I love. I
Poor
don't know.
man.
I love like his twisted morals, and it was super interesting talking about. We just discussed kind of who we thought might potentially be it. But
Oh,
and
it's
then
the
also-
watch wearing man from Fargo. Yeah, we all know.
and then
Definitely him.
watched in Bruges, super good. 8 out of 10 for me. I
It's
just
still
think,
not
I-
in your top 100 yet,
What
Cameron?
what
No.
does he say? If I
But,
was younger and I was would like,
if I grew up on a farm,
I
you
grew
know,
up and I was
I would think
maybe
it's
I'd
awesome.
like
He's
yeah.
like-
that
he's like,
was
but
so
I did
funny.
it,
Colin
and I'm
Farrell,
not,
great. Yeah.
so I don't think it's great. And he's like,
Colin
on a
Colin
job in Bruges.
Farrell's
You're on a job in Bruges. In Bruges, you're on a job.
that was such a
Um,
good movie. I want to see that one again.
You
I
going
love
up
Colin Farrell.
there? No, like, you're way too big. And then he's like, "Are they trying to get up there? Hey, like, it's
I
way
know the
too
two of them.
narrow."
Who
Oh,
knew?
yeah,
Like
that's right.
if I had to pair two actors together, like I never would think to pair two. Both Banshees of Inisherin and In Bruges. What a matchup, dude! Those two
Dude,
guys
and
are
oh my gosh,
powerhouses.
you're an inanimate object. I'm
Yeah,
sorry for
you're
I'm
an
sorry for
inanimate
calling you an
freaking
inanimate object.
That's right. That's right. I remember that.
Oh,
That
man.
was hilarious.
Ralph Fine or whatever. however you
Ralph
say his
Fiennes.
name.
Yeah,
He is
his
so
performance
good.
in that was
Good.
great. He was hilarious.
Because
in that.
that was the first. No, it was the second time I've ever seen him like in a more of a comedic role. Because the first time was Grand Budapest.
And then
but-
Voldemort, right? Super funny. Hilarious guy.
I just his hug was. I just think he just needs more roles like that. I just think he's like that.
Well done,
He's like that
Draco.
dark humor,
Well
like
done.
the unintentional, like almost like it's just like leave my kids out of it, man. He's like that's too epic far. Take that back. He's like, all right, I take it back. Like, I just think that's so funny. Like,
Yeah,
they're like
there's
threatening to kill each other, and he's like, don't call my
There's-
kids that word. He's like,
Now,
leave my
remind me again.
children out of it."
They're hired gunmen, right? Or are they
Yeah,
assassins?
they're hired gunmen who
Yeah, yeah.
then
But
like,
who have
hired
like a
to kill
boss
him.
that has like scruples and morals. It's just funny.
Yeah, and
Like,
then and Ralph Fiennes is the boss of
Yeah,
that hires him, so he comes to kill the other guy for not killing.
yes, not following
and
through
so
with the
it's
job.
just really fun. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
And
movie.
then also I watched the documentary Untold of Johnny Manziel. He was a college football player who was like super like he was like the most famous person like on earth for a couple of years, and then he just like got super into partying, and like he was partying with like Drake, Jay-Z, Kanye, like just every single like rapper or famous person. Like he was partying every single night with that, and then like would go to to practice drunk and like hungover, like. And it's just super interesting because he essentially like explains how he like planned to kill himself after like his goal was to ruin his life to a point to where it would make sense for him to kill himself, and then he just like and then he didn't, and then he went to rehab, and he's like been working his way back to kind of just like being normal and like sober, but it's crazy.
Wow.
Because-
Fame isn't everything, is it, Mr. Potter? Sorry, I don't
Amen.
know.
And then
yeah,
been
can-
watching some of the Batman as well. And I'm super excited for Blue Beetle. I also
Oh yeah,
I
heard
also would
it's
like to go see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I've heard it's actually pretty fun. The animation looks kind of cool, and plus I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so
right on.
yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, folks, let me show you what I saw. I finally saw Annihilation with Natalie Portman and Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
Good sci-fi
Nugget.
movie. Did you guys already review on the podcast and I
No.
missed it? Oh, okay. I rather enjoyed it. It kind of had a feel like Arrival meets what's that colorful movie? I was
I
gonna
think
say
it- I think-
Color
and
of
I
Outer
think
Space.
Very
a little
similar to
bit.
Ex Machina too, because it's
Ex Machina. Thank you.
director.
Thank you. Yes, definitely had an Ex Machina feel because at the end it's like revealed like
Holy
this-
shiz, bro!
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I've never got like that's like top 10 most like chilling scenes I've ever seen when it's just like
Mimicking him,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, run.
So, well, I guess we won't have to spoil because maybe we'll have to review that on the podcast sometime because it's
Be
fun to
fun.
kind of speculate what we think because it kind of leaves it up for interpretation a little bit. There's some ambiguity at the end that kind of makes for a fun sci-fi thriller. So I did like Annihilation, and then one that was less heavy and less nihilistic. It was actually hopeful. It's called The Pope's Exorcist, which I'm not kidding.
You watched
But-
that?
It's got Russell Crowe,
Yeah.
and it was actually pretty fun. It kind
Oh,
of
cool. I need to
it's
watch
like
that.
it's just fun. Like Russell Crowe plays like this kind of outdated priest where he's kind of like a little more jokey, a little more lax on the rules. I literally had the joke where I was like, he's a pope that just plays by nobody's rules, like he's the cop that plays by nobody's rules, but he's like a pope, and they bring him in for questioning. Is like, what's the purpose of this? Like, what do you want me for? And they're all like, you bad pope, you shouldn't be doing all this stuff. But yeah, if you don't like demonic possessions and stuff, it's definitely not for you. But as far as it didn't really scare me, because like I've definitely seen scarier movies, but like I still enjoyed it. Like it was actually more fun than it was scary and or bad. But anyway,
Okay.
it's like a fun watch. It sounds so weird saying the Pope's Exorcist was a fun watch, but it literally was kind of a
I've
fun
actually heard that
movie.
from somebody, two other people. So
Yeah, it definitely wasn't what I was expecting, but it kind of like it's pretty predictable. It's a perfect solid B movie, is all I'll say, because like you're gonna be like, oh, I didn't think the character was this. I didn't think the movie was deep. It's like it's not profound in any way, not whatsoever. But I like Russell Crowe. I kind of like chubby, letting himself go, Russell Crowe, because
yes, unhinged.
I'm literally, yeah, and he's just going
He's
for
fine.
it, and he's having a good time, which is why I enjoy it, because he's just like this cool Italian Pope, and he's super cool, man. So Italian Popes being cool, that's kind of cool. Gangster Pope movie, just send demons. It would remind me a little bit more of Constantine, but it's not like to the wall crazy, but it is like entertaining because it kind of has all the things that you would have in an Exorcist movie. And then you kind of have a family that you care about, and then watching.
It's funny that they're coming out with like a
mystery.
new Exorcist movie, but I feel like all these other like possession movies are actually better. Like Talk to Me. and-
Yeah, like I mean, to me, it's like, yeah, if you can either do a fun new twist on it or make it like, I don't know, just like engaging. Because if I care about the characters, I really don't care if it's a movie I've seen before. Like there's some movies that are really good that even if you've seen it before, they can either just add a new spin on it or
Like Mission Impossible.
yeah, like Mission Impossible did not break boundaries, but in the end, I'm like, it's still entertaining because it's a new stunt and what an impressive guy, So like, anyway, that's what Pope's Exorcist was. So, and then of course I watched Collateral, which we're gonna have to talk about on the podcast because there was so much that I took so
It's
many
so
notes,
good.
and I was like, I'm gonna watch this
Jamie
again
is great in that.
days after. What was that?
Jamie's great in that.
Yeah, I was like, holy crap, he's such a dramatic actor. Because I remember watching it and thinking, like, even in movies like a Baby Driver where he like tries to play a tough guy, this one is so subtle. Like, it's such a good performance. Like, he's I don't even want to spoil it, but yeah, blew it out of my mind because
And Ty,
blew it out
remember
of
he
my
did
mind.
Django, so I'm
Blew my
just
mind
settle
away.
down with him not being able to do dramatic. So
No, I just meant like, well, this is still before Django though.
he has his faults. I mean, he did
Yeah.
Amazing
'cause,
Spider-Man
like,
2, which is one of my favorite Spider-Mans,
Spider-Man
but
2,
he's
perfect example. Like,
Electro's maybe not his best.
yeah, if he doesn't have the right direction, I feel like he can kind of go wayward. But yeah, Tarantino, and you have Collateral by Michael Mann. Excellent use of Jamie Foxx, and he was great. He was magnanimous. And Tom Cruise, holy crap, Tom Cruise. Not to spoil who's good and bad, but can we get more movies like that with Tom Cruise? Because I know he's always playing the hero.
Blonde Tom Cruise or gray-haired Tom Cruise is a dangerous man.
Yes, if we let him get old, he'll start getting more vicious and cranky. Amazing movie though, so I'm really excited. We will have to review that because I was just blown away at how good it was, and I enjoyed it thoroughly, much more this time than the first time. I don't know if I was asleep the first time, or I wasn't getting the story, or I just wasn't resonating.
No,
can't
I
forget
liked it
about-
better the second
You
time.
can't forget about
Okay.
Mexican Mark Ruffalo. With the slick
and
back hair. I was
Cartel, yeah,
I was
undercover
like, is that
cop.
Mark Ruffalo?
Dude, and it's got I didn't even realize it. It's Jada Pinkett Smith. Wait, what's her name? Yeah, Jada Pinkett Smith. It's Will Smith's wife.
Oh, she's in
Actual
that?
comment from my wife. She's like, she looks better with hair or longer hair. And I was like, I thought she was mocking like the whole Will Smith slap, but she's like, oh, I didn't know she had alopecia. So my wife was just like, as far as looks are concerned, because she's like, she was great in that movie, and she's like, I don't know why she ever cut her hair. And I was like, babe, like, you do know why Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, right? Is the joke about G.I. Jane and her having alopecia and her hair being short, and so Will Smith slapped it. Now, mind you, Will Smith was laughing at that joke, but then he saw how dissatisfied his wife was, and then went up and slapped him. Not justified, you psycho Will Smith. Even though you were like my top 10 actors all time, you went down a peg. Let's just put it that way.
Dude, Javier Bardem's in it. I forgot.
Yeah. Javier Bardem, guys, again, we could get into this movie deep, but like we're gonna talk about it on the pod because it's gonna be my choice next time I get a movie pick. It's so good, and Javier Bardem is only in it for like a few minutes, and he's amazing. Mark Ruffalo's great. Jamie Foxx is great. Tom Cruise is great. everyone's great. So very much looking forward to talking about that movie again. Anyway, that was everything that I'd seen, other than, I don't remember if I mentioned, I did end up finishing the Shrinking show with Jason Segel, Harrison Ford. Very good. I liked it. It was a good show. If you liked a little bit more language than Atypical, but it's like right up the alley. If you like Atypical, you'd probably like this show. It's about a bunch of therapists going through therapy, and even a therapist fall on their bad years because, you know, things happen in life that's super unpredictable and really tragic, and watching them pick up their lives coming back from the gutter, it's really entertaining. It's fun to watch people like change and be better, you know, improve themselves. It's good. So that's what I watched. Jordan, how about you, man? Oh, and I'm looking forward to, real quick, I did want to look forward to the one movie that I put on my list, The Devil with Nick Cage. I want to see that
Sympathy for the Devil.
Sympathy for the Devil, thank you. Renfield, and then I'm going to finally watch Roadhouse. I've never seen the Patrick Swayze Roadhouse.
I love Roadhouse.
So I'll probably watch that, and who knows?
It's definitely some scenes to skip.
All right, awesome.
I just know you're not going to skip them, and then you're going to be like, oh, there's so much inappropriate stuff, and then I'm like, oh, well, I told you to skip it. Oh, well. Or just wait to watch it with me.
I think Jordan's referring to Eastern Promises. I just didn't know how heavy that movie would be.
Well, Eastern Promises, that was graphic.
It's a heavy movie. Yeah.
I'm talking about.
I thought it was like a gangster mob movie, but it's like, no, it's like a tragic tale of like a misplaced child.
It feels like a Western though, and that's why I love Roadhouse too.
A little bit of Western. A lot of bathhouse fighting though, more than any Western I've ever seen.
oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about History of Violence.
Yeah. No, but History of Violence, that too. You know what? I definitely know I want to rewatch that movie. For sure.
Dude, David Cronenberg, I love him so much. In case people didn't know, the logo I did at our beginning, the Futro, I based that after Videodrome. David Cronenberg.
Well, here you go. You heard it here, folks. We're a phony. We have knocked it off of David Cronenberg.
Our original logo, I based it off
from the greats, folks.
Well, our original logo, I based it off of the old Superman, the 3D look. Anyways, okay, so really quick, I'm gonna go through my list. I watched Natural Born Killers again. At the beginning, I started. I'm like, oh man, why did I rank this so low? Like, I really like this movie. Why am I? Why? And then by the end, I'm like, I feel sick to my stomach. I wish I didn't watch this movie. It's so bad. But this Oliver Stone, man, his style is crazy. And then. Well, the reason I watched it again is because I went down this YouTube rabbit hole, and next thing you know, it's like, you need to watch this movie. And I was like, okay. And I watched it again. I'm like, why did I put myself through that? And then I watched Chris Rock's Selective Outrage on Netflix. I'm not a huge Chris Rock fan, but I do like stand up once in a while. It makes me laugh.
Did you like this special? I heard he flubbed up the Will Smith joke.
He did. Oh, did he? I don't know. It's just funny. He talked about the Will Smith. I also watched.
He almost didn't land it. Someone mentioned it to me. They're like, he almost didn't nail the joke. You're like, that's the one joke he had to, get back at Will Smith. Anyway.
Well, I saw that one also on YouTube Shorts, and I was like, oh, I need to watch that. And then I watched it. Everything I've been watching lately has just been recommendations from people on YouTube. And then I just finished the first Lord of the Rings with Tatiana. She loves it, and of course, it's a masterpiece. And then I also watched Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. It's not great. It's like Adventures of Babysitting, but not as funny. I mean, I don't think
just
so.
Watch The Babysitter. That movie was great. The cults, the teenagers. No. Oh, you're thinking like The Sitter. The Babysitter was, or maybe it's The Sitter. It's the one where like all the high school teens do a seance, and then like
with Vin Diesel.
That's fine.
No, Jordan, you remember this was a really funny horror movie. It was a horror comedy where the kid's being babysat by this cheerleader girl, and she brings her friends over, and they do the seance, and they have the pentagram down.
That's not called The Sitter.
The Babysitter.
Oh, it's The Babysitter. Yeah, maybe that's what it's called.
That's what I said, and then you're like,
oh, you're right. It is The Babysitter.
Yeah, The Babysitter. It's a great movie.
That was fun.
It's a great babysitter movie.
Yeah, that one is better.
And then they had a sequel too, which was pretty forgettable.
Your buddy Colton recommended Licorice Pizza, Cameron, which I watched.
Colton just watched that today. As well again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's
good.
Yeah, it's well made, and I'm just
not into waterbeds, I guess you could say. Into Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah, I like Paul Thomas Anderson's the one
Paul
that Ty's
Thomas.
obsessed with, There Will Be Blood.
There Will Be Blood. Like,
which we had to review again because Ty lost his audio. And then
we'll have to do it again, dude.
I love Punch Drunk Love, obviously. It's my favorite.
Eli, I'm so sorry. Drainage, Eli. Drainage, I'm so sorry. Dude,
It's so good.
Cameron, have
And
you
then
seen? You've watched it, right?
Nick
Yes.
Okay.
Nick
Just
Nick
didn't know
told
if
me
you'd seen it.
Nick told me I had to watch Knack at the Cabin, even though I've seen all the reviews for it. And
okay, you keep Knack at the Cabin.
Knack. And then I was
Knock
like,
at
I don't know if I want to see
I
it.
started that. Yes, I started it. I forgot
And
to finish it.
I finished it. It's fun.
Got the guy
Good.
from Mindhunter. I really like him. He's really good.
Yeah. He's one of the couple that's being harassed, and then you have John Bautista and
Oh,
Rupert
Mindhunter. I'm
Grint.
sorry. I was thinking that's what I recognized him from. I'm glad you mentioned that, Cameron. I thought you were saying Manhunter. I was like, whoa, very different movie, Cameron.
I'm aware.
But anyways, yeah, those are the
Whoa.
movies I watched.
Take it easy.
Oh, and I forgot to mention, even though our Indians have probably stopped listening at this point, I did like the final.
After we're done talking about Sardar Udham, they're like,
but
"Yep,
Sardar,
thank you," and
I-
turn it off.
I did love that because Cameron talked about good visuals, that great scene from Zodiac. I was thinking of a great scene at the very end. I was like, whoa, this is a great shot when he just goes into the water, just like after he's covered in that blood.
That reminded me exactly of Hacksaw when they pour the water on him.
Yeah, that's a great
Baptism,
comparison.
rebirth. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what water means. A lot of things, folks, in movies.
So that's it. Peace.
That's it. Oh, well, everybody, this has been Futro Hidden Movie Jams. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to assassinate the that did the assassination at Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Should you choose to accept it. Anyway, love you. Bye. That was a botched ending.